Ravi Shankar Prasad, Union Minister, and Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Congress spokesperson, leading our debate this evening. So, Mr. Prasad, this gamble is paid off. What many people say is a gamble. Don't project a strong senior leader at the state. Let Mr. Modi be the face of the campaign. It's paid off. Do you think, if these exit poll results are any indicator in the lead up to October 19th, that that's going to be a strategy the BJP will replicate elsewhere in the country as well?
I think that will not be a very fair analysis. My approach is entirely different, Arnav. As I see it, of late, element of good governance is coming into the core of India's polity. And don't forget one thing, in Haryana or in Maharashtra, conventionally we were not very strong players. We were number 2, in alliance mostly. Now, what happened in Haryana in the last 10 years, or what happened in Maharashtra in the last 15 years is too well known. Let's not debate that. What is the consequence of this parliamentary election? The quest for good governance under a leader who can deliver, and a party with a clear and stable majority has become the choice of the people of India. The same model was thought to be replicated in these 2 states. And if the exit poll are going to be the real poll on the 19th, which I believe are going to be completely, then I see as a very defining moment in the polity of India. It is very good that considerations of caste or regions or other filial loyalties is being transcended by the overpowering concern of good governance. And the people are responding to that. That, I think, is a very defining moment.
Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is the Congress going to face an existential crisis if these polls are correct? I mean, you're going to be wiped out of 2 key states. The BJP goes alone. The gamble works out for the BJP, Dr. Singhvi. What really is the fundamental problem why the Congress party is plummeting to such depths, Dr. Singhvi? What is the reason for it?
I'll be very brief, Arnav. Allow me to answer. First of all, as usual, as I said, to try to predict polls 3 days before the actual polls by these exit polls is really a remarkable exercise in miniaturization for the country as diverse as in India. We've been proved wrong.
No, it was broadly correct in the general elections anyway.
Let's look at the ifs. Yeah, but it's been wrong many times, and you know that. Let me point out just 3 factors which the BJP should give a pause before, counting their chickens so well before they roost. First and foremost, nobody has factored in the 4-way division in these 2 states. There is at least a 4 and probably a 6-way division of votes. I think there is a vast difference between BJP possibly being the single largest party and the BJP coasting to a comfortable majority. They are 2 totally different things. I don't think it's so easy. I do accept that there is anti-incumbency against the Congress, possibly more against our erstwhile ally, but still anti-incumbency. But don't forget, therein hides a big compliment, Arnav. For 15 years, the electorate thought it fit to elect us again and again and again with the same BJP, the same set of people and the same Shiv Sena. So don't make the cardinal mistake of equating anti-incumbency, of which undoubtedly there is a huge amount in Maharashtra and to an extent in Haryana, with non-governance. The statistics are there. There is a huge amount of infrastructure development. There is good agricultural growth. Industrial growth has boomed in that state, in Maharashtra especially. Sir. But yes, anti-incumbency doesn't see the merits. It sees the existence 3 times. What I'm saying is, the last final call has not yet come, Arnav. A lot of play in the joints remains in post-poll alliances. And if for any reason, which is at least a strong possibility, I will not put it beyond that, if there are a 4-way division of votes, and there are 4 polls, then you might see some interesting results. So the BJP, I do not think, has any evidence to suggest that it's going to be coasting to a comfortable majority.
Okay, 1 second. Now therefore we'll open up. We'll open up the debate now. No, we'll open up the debate. I didn't interrupt you. You made 3 fairly well articulated and long points, which I will summarize in 10 seconds. By the way, we have a big panel here: Kumar Ketkar, Sunil Alag, Nirja Chaudhary, Sankarshan Thakur, Hartosh Singh Bal and Sabha Naqvi. There's the screen out there. We have a big panel. Navika Kumar, of course, and Jay Mrug is there with us. Now, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Abhishek Singhvi throws it at you. He says, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Secondly, he said this is not really a loss because for 15 years we were there. Anti-incumbency is normal. And third, he seems to indicate that people are foolish. They don't vote for the Congress party despite the great work that the Congress party has done. And finally, he says, 4 parties may come together in an alliance against you, so watch out. Your response, and then we throw this up for analysis, by the way. Yes. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
I would like to very gently remind Manu that third time Shivraj Singh Chauhan won with a 2/3 majority. That is called performance, Abhishek. Third time Raman Singh, in spite of so much of Naxalism, convincingly won a difficult state like Chhattisgarh. That is got performance. People of India know what is performance. 10 years or 15 years is not the benchmark. If you perform, if you are honest, if you are reasonable, they give you their blessings. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, because polling is over, I don't want to quibble. But just to put the record straight, what the Chief Minister has publicly commented in a media interview, I knew there was corruption. I knew my Chief Minister was involved. Yeah. I could not take action because I had to survive. Therefore, at least today, we have to be honest. Yes, Abhishek's point of caveat about this miniaturization of exit poll is well taken. And I am sorry to say, Arnav, that the same phrase Abhishek is using for the last so many years. But good luck to him. I don't judge that. But at least I need to compliment one particular exit poll, today's Chanakya, which has been right throughout, be it in Madhya Pradesh, be it in Delhi poll. They were the first to say that Aam Aadmi Party may win 33 seats. It won 28. They said we will get clear absolute majority. We won. Today they are saying we will win 151 in Maharashtra, 52 in Haryana. If past precedent is the guide, who knows? Exit poll may be a reality.
And what's similar?
These are semantics.
No, what's similar? For our viewers.
Or no, one thing more.
Only 1 second.
He wants to respond to you, Mr. Prasad.
Or no, just one last comment. Or no, one last comment. These self-satisfying logic for Mr. Manu is well taken. But his party or their leaders are missing the basic point that the entire mindset of the people of India have changed. The entire preference, approach of the people of India have changed. This is a tectonic shift in the political thinking of the people of India, which is being reiterated. Filial loyalties, regional considerations, caste considerations are now being overtaken with the quest for real good governance and delivery. If they are not willing to accept that, good luck to that.
Okay, one rebut and then I'll open it up. 1 second.
Great hope.
Okay.
And there Mr. Modi do that big line.
Very quickly.
Okay. No, 1 second.
Actually,
I summarized you to Ravi Shankar Prasad. I'll summarize Ravi Shankar Prasad to you. I'll summarize Ravi Shankar Prasad for you. He says 3 things to you.
1 second.
One he says to you. I'll take 10 seconds. I'll take 10 seconds. Allow me the pleasure of summarizing Ravi Shankar Prasad to you to ensure that you don't deflect. First he says don't look at excuses. Don't give me excuses why you lost. Don't talk about anti-incumbency. Secondly, he says your Chief Minister has acknowledged that he didn't act against corruption. People are paying the price. Third, he says mindsets are changing. 3 points to you. Then our panel will come into this and we'll talk about the national impact of what's happening. Yes, Mr. Singhvi, do you have a response?
Arnab,
or would we? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think.
Arnab, Ravi, can I speak, Arnab?
Yeah.
Arnab, yeah. Ravi is actually validating my point completely without quite realizing it. The same BJP was there, the same Shiv Sena was there, even the same Modi was there in Gujarat. Everybody else in the BJP was the same. Why did the electorate of Maharashtra elect us 3 times? Because he is the one who's insulting the intelligence of the Maharashtra electorate to think that they were foolish enough to want to elect us every time. Now it is true that when somebody wins 3 times in a state as large as Maharashtra and 3 times in the national capital of Delhi, then there has to be a 4th time perhaps when it will not win. That's about all that happens.
No, he gave you the example of Raman Singh and Shivraj Singh Chauhan and he said you're making excuses.
As if the BJP...
He said you're making excuses. He gave you the example of Madhya Pradesh and
Chhattisgarh. Government, that's a fallacy. Arnab, let me complete please. I didn't interrupt. There is a complete fallacy. Barring Mr. Modi in Gujarat, there is no 4th time election except in Maharashtra. Ravi is totally wrong.
Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Government is only in Maharashtra
Ravi Shankar
and Gujarat.
Prasad, respond.
All are other doubles.
Respond.
Now, one more point.
No, 1 second.
One more point.
You made a factual
It is not that losing the election and not getting a majority, I can understand. But getting something which is a clear majority for the BJP without looking at post-poll figures is,
So,
I
but
think,
where-
being too
okay.
complacent,
All
being
right.
too presumptuous. And the tone and
Ravi
the
Shankar
tone
Prasad will
and the
respond and then
tenor
we'll
of
open it
Mr.
up.
Prasad suggests that
Yeah.
he, at the center and in the state, is going to be there forever. I don't think that's for the electorate. This tectonic shift doesn't mean that the BJP is there across
Ravi
India
Shankar
and state
Prasad,
center
and then we
to
have
stay
to
on
open
forever.
it up to the panelists. We have to look at the national picture. After all, the BJP has gone it alone. And if this strategy works, if Modi and Amit Shah say this is going to be a strategy everywhere, then we have a different approach of the BJP in national politics. Ravi Shankar Prasad, your response, please. Jay, I know I'll come to you. Mr. Prasad.
Arnav, did I ever say that we are going to rule forever? We will perform and therefore people will bless us. I always say, being a person who was his baptism, the JP movement, people of India know their power. They can change any government. It is for those who believe that only one family can rule, regardless of the disastrous experience people may have had. We don't have any one illusion. I have to say only one thing, Arnav. I have come now to times now after a long time. Abhishek Manu and myself have been debating ad nauseum. Earlier our debate used to be a quasi-debate of two lawyers in the Supreme Court. Abhishek hasn't forgotten that now Ravi Shankar is the Law Minister of India. Therefore he is talking politics more. And he as a spokesperson also need to talk politics more.
Oh.
And this lesson,
Oh, yes.
if this exit poll
Throwing
is to
it
be
back at
believed,
Dr. Singhvi.
you are not able to draw the right lesson. You will commit the same mistake. Why Bhupender Hooda is losing and why did Shivraj Singh Chauhan won? Third time. This I am asking to you. Because you are not willing to draw the right conclusion. Because Congress is losing the trust of the people. This is a party which cannot take effective action on the issue of propriety, on the issue of governance, on the issue of corruption.
All right.
Therefore you are getting punished. If you don't want to draw the right lessons, good luck to you.
All right, good luck to you. Dr. Singh, we don't know what, before I know you want to square it off out here between both of you. I put a question to our panelists. I put a question to our panelists. We said, okay, Dr. Ketkar,
I
Kumar
don't know what a law minister has
Ketkar.
got to do with it.
Kumar Ketkar.
I want
National
to
Impact.
make only one point. Everybody is talking about the government and government's performance.
Yeah.
Nobody is talking about the party building activity at all.
Party building
In
activity,
2010, Prithviraj Chauhan became chief minister, and everybody knew that the elections are going to be held in 2014 in October. Congress party was totally, virtually dead. There was no action.
Yeah.
There was no participation of the people.
Wait.
There was no program.
Yeah.
There was no volunteer activity at all.
Yeah,
So one of the reasons why Congress lost is not because the government performed well or not. Government has not
You're saying
performed
the
so
Congress
bad.
gave it-
Government has not performed so bad as it is claimed. But the point is, the party was totally absent from the people. The party was absent from the movement.
Why do you say party? Why don't you say
Because-
party leadership? No, why don't you say
I am saying party leadership.
Where is the party
I am
leadership?
saying
No, I'm
party
asking you,
leadership.
where is the party
I am
leadership?
saying party, that means party
No,
leadership,
look,
because
no,
party leadership has to guide the party activists.
I just
Party
quickly-
leadership at,
Where
if
is-
you want to name high command, party leadership at high command level as well as
I am
state
saying
level.
Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, high command and state level party
Where are they?
was
I just-
totally inactive, absent, virtually
I'm going
dead.
to Delhi
I
for
just before you go to
responses.
Delhi, just one
Arnab,
quick line, just one
Arnab,
quick
can
line,
I-
Navika.
2 minutes.
One very
Can I
quickly, Mr. Singhvi. It is not the same BJP that has won. It's the same Congress that has lost.
Right.
There is a new BJP which has arrived, and it's about time the Congress noticed what they are doing. The difference of people right now is BJP has a strong leadership. Congress has a weak leadership.
Well, point
These
is-
are the main reasons.
Yeah,
and Congress is living in history. BJP is making history.
All right,
That's the difference.
1 minute. Don't get carried
That's the
away. Don't
difference.
get carried away with
Sure.
the polls. No, don't get carried away.
Why not?
Mr. Alag, hold yourself.
Why not?
You know, because I find it strange that when the BJP does not do well, then you come and
I have never
question
said-
the
of
polls.
course I
Today-
will- I will-
Today you are.
No, I've been saying it all along.
My
since Mr. Modi has come.
factual point is tonight, and this question goes to Sankarshan and all the upcoming to Jay in just a bit. Modi addressed 38 rallies. Sankarshan, Sabha, Navika, please come in. Modi alone, 38 rallies in Maharashtra and Haryana. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi combined 18 rallies in all. Two leaders, Congress Vice President together, don't even campaign half as many places. So Modi individually is going 4 times stronger than Rahul Gandhi in terms of presence. Question therefore is, is there a lack of involvement of the Congress party leadership, and will anyone in the Congress party question this, or is this beyond question? Yes, please, Navika.
Arnab, if you actually visit the Congress party headquarters, it's almost a deserted ship. You can't find anybody there. They're almost given up even before the fight has begun. I don't know what Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is talking about the party, but the fact is there is no leadership. Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi can probably answer this. The fact is, by the next election, Sonia Gandhi will be 72 years of age. Rahul Gandhi is just not measuring up to what the party requires from him. There's a deep depression amongst senior Congress leaders, most of them talking about Modi's governance in harsh tones, not talking about the Congress party at all. And Priyanka Gandhi has her own Robert Vadra baggage to carry. So what is the Congress's leadership really looking at?
What
That's
is your
the question that
do you have a
Dr.
plan
Manu
B?
Singhvi needs to answer.
Do you have a plan B? Question being put here. Do you have a plan B?
Navika's point.
Sabha is
Yeah, I'll just supplement Navika's
Yeah.
point, Arnab. The importance, we haven't used one word for these two big economically, one of them is big, but economically powerful states is crony capitalism, where the family of the Gandhis is also involved in a Haryana deal. I'm sure the shadow of that is somewhere there, and when we ask a question of where are the Gandhis, what are they doing, I am sure at some level they're also looking out for their own
Sankarshan, Sankarshan, you want to add to that?
Yeah, you know, I think what Sabha is talking about, and rightly, is about the past and what's happening now as a consequence of that in these elections. But I think the Congress party really has to be worried about the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Where is a plan? It looks atrophied. Its leaders are absolute lack of inspiration sort of is writ on their faces. They go into rallies and public meetings already looking defeated. There is no, you know, today I heard something coming out of the Congress party headquarters yet again, that now that the elections are over, the focus will be on restructuring the party. Now, this is something we've been hearing for 10 years. That Mrs. Gandhi...
Like the Antony
It
Committee
happened
report.
after the general elections.
You know, there are n
It's
number
like
of
the Antony Committee report.
There are n number of committee reports. The result of all this is, Arnab, that you have the BJP now who is coming into the Congress mold of being the or attempting, having the ambition to be the one single all India party.
Let me get in Nirja on this. No, one second. I think we provoked. No, 1 second. With all your observations, I'm sure we provoked Abhishek Manu Singhvi enough, and I'm sure he's going to
the Congress
give you...
Let me finish.
But 1 second. Nirja,
Nirja.
Sankarshan, Nirja, please. Nirja.
You know, Mr. Prithviraj Chavan, he's been criticized for that interview, but he showed an amazing candor, even if it comes one. And courage to talk, absolutely, to talk, you know, see the writing on the wall and talk about it. And he also said that A.K. Antony report, he doesn't expect anything to happen. So I think the time has really come as the 129-year-old party of the country, the grand old party of India. It's in our interest that it revives and gives an opposition. But we see no signs of it, Mr. Singhvi. No signs at all, unfortunately, painfully so.
All right, one sec. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to the Ravi Shankar Prasad versus Abhishek Manu Singhvi debate. But let's get all the views in. Ravi Shankar Prasad, Abhishek Manu Singhvi are coming back to you.
Yeah. In terms of sheer numbers. Yeah. Now, if today's polls are to hold true.
Yeah.
Haryana and Maharashtra are going to be states where the Congress is going to be third.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Now, if we add the number of Lok Sabha seats in states where the Congress is already third or beyond, before today, it was UP, Bihar, Delhi, West Bengal and Andhra adding up to a cumulative of 251 seats.
Yeah.
To that, add 48 and 10 of Maharashtra and Haryana, it's 309. Yeah. More than half the Lok Sabha seats where the Congress would be third or beyond.
Yeah.
I think that's a very ominous sign for the Congress party.
Ravi Shankar Prasad, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Therefore, just a small statistic I'd like to share with you. And Ravi Shankar Prasad, don't hold yourself back. You can give us... I first like your views on whether you feel the Congress party is making it easier for you. You know, with either lack of involvement or whatever. I mean, how... Because it's worrisome. Mr. Prasad, it's worrisome for a country where the opposition virtually reduces itself to non-existence. I mean, it's not a healthy trend. I know you don't have to contribute to a building of an opposition. You must decimate it. But still, your thoughts?
Well, I totally agree with you, Arnav. In a big country like India of its size and diversity, you need to have the opposition at the national level and also at the state level. That's what democracy is about, for choice. But I cannot put it more frankly than what you said. It is not our job to build an opposition. If the Congress is hell-bent upon atrophy from inside, what can we do? Someone talked of restructuring. Is there any willingness within the Congress of restructuring from the top?
Let's ask Dr. Singh.
You know, my view is very clear, Arnav. I always say this. The country is not only rebelling against malgovernance or non-governance. The country is also in its own way giving a very strong indication of family rule in some way or the other. And that is, I see as a sign of maturing of Indian democracy, greater accountability. One thing more I would like to say, and that is the art of communication. Art of communication and democracy is very important. Maybe the time of written speeches are getting over in public meetings during elections. But it is for them to decide that. But this art of communication does not mean only eloquence or some kind of theatrics. What people expect, the person who speaks must carry real meaning and must be able to generate the trust for delivery. That I see all a part of good governance. Therefore, surely Indian democracy is changing, and I think Congress may like to learn some lesson. If I become nostalgic or no, I do become at times. In '84, we had got reduced to 2. And I remember watching television, Doordarshan in Patna, when Bajpayee also lost from Gwalior. I became emotionally very disturbed because of my personal affinity to him. But after a couple of months, we reclaimed our strength, we started fighting, building the party, and rest is history, what happened in '89. I wish Congress is able to regain that inner strength. Whether it will do or not, that is a debatable question.
Is the Congress in a bit of a denial mode? You've heard all this long critique, and I'll give you time to respond, Dr. Singhvi, but are you in denial mode, or is your party leadership in denial mode that the people of India are wrong, people of Maharashtra are wrong, people of Haryana are wrong, the people across the country are wrong, that they are not choosing you? I mean, is that denial mode there somewhere? Because you're not changing anything since your performance on May 16th.
Arnav, I have been hearing almost, I think, I don't recognize all, but about 8 or 9 voices.
Yes.
And all have more or less one view. Congress is dead and buried. Obsequies have to be performed.
No, I don't think they said that.
Reply, you'll give me at least 2 minutes, but I'm sure
No, they're not saying that.
Yes. Only the obsequies have to be performed.
No, they're not saying that.
Your leadership is not responding to the need of the hour. That's the point that you're making.
The issue is you're not showing any spine or muscle to get up and, and fight.
No, we are very
Right. Now I've heard all the adjectives. I've heard 9 sets of adjectives. I've heard 8 sets of adjectives along with those of the anchor. Allow at least one viewpoint which I alone have and which none of you have. Look, let's put things in perspective. We've lost the Lok Sabha election and we are likely to lose, at least from power, 2 important states. I accept that if the polls are correct.
Yeah.
From that to extrapolate into adjectives which I don't think were used when the BJP was down to 2. From down to 2, it took them years and decades to come to a respectable figure. And you are performing the obsequies within 90 days. One second. I don't think I heard these phrases during or after emergency figures.
Sir, 1 minute.
I don't think I heard these figures for the BJP, which was an unknown party, from 84 all the way to 2003 when they came to, to 1908 when they came to power once.
Sir,
for the first time
you
after
want
a
to
long
talk
time.
about the present?
These are vicissitudes of politics.
Talking about the present,
Vicissitudes of politics are that we are doing badly. We have done badly.
But why are you doing badly?
We have done badly for 90 days.
Why are you doing badly?
Give us time.
No, but why are you doing badly?
And we will show that all these one-sided adjectives, which appear to think 3 things. A, that the BJP is here to stay permanently. B, the BJP shall do no wrong.
No, I think you are twisting things. No, one second. You see now,
9 voices should not interrupt one voice.
Dr. Singhvi, let me say one thing. Let me say one thing.
9 voices should not interrupt one voice.
Dr. Singhvi, let me
say one thing.
Let me say one thing to you, Dr. Singhvi. I want to pay you a compliment. I want to pay you a compliment.
I have not completed. I'm sorry.
No, I want to pay you a compliment.
I have not completed.
I want to pay you a compliment.
I only want my viewpoint to be heard.
I want to pay you a compliment.
I don't want a compliment. I only want my viewpoint to be heard.
I'm saying...
No, I want to have my viewpoint heard. I don't want a compliment.
You're trying to
I don't want a compliment. Let me say this. I am sure some of you out there are saying these bad words and adjectives about the Congress out of great love and affection for the Congress and an expectation of resurgence. I can understand that. But remember, the cardinal sin of politicians is to think that having won one election by a big vote and on the verge of winning possibly some state elections,
Prasad must respond.
Everything is dead. Time changes, atmospherics change, the arrogance and the certitude in the voice of Ravi will also change.
Arrogance
this was the same Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi against whom the same dynastic rule charge was made in 2004 and 2009. It was the same BJP in 2009 and the same one which thought India is shining. So 2019 will come and we'll have a program again. We'll have a program again when you'll be asking similar questions.
Having been accused of the twin qualities of arrogance and certitude, Ravi Shankar Prasad must now respond.
I think Arnav, Abhishek knows it very well that arrogance is alien to me. If I can use, I remain a simple party worker and I will remain so. I was born in an ideology and I will leave this world in the same ideology. That's how I have grown. Therefore, and in my ideology and in my working system, arrogance is completely alien. That's the first thing I would like to say. The second thing again, Abhishek is missing the point. I am no one to advise. But in view of the vehemence with which he has accused me, I would like to give him some unsolicited advice. We are worried about the Congress party because you are an all India party, ruling from Kerala to Kashmir.
I'm so touched.
Today you are becoming really a miniature of yourself, if I can use your expression.
You wanted a Congress Mukht Bharat and you're getting it.
Abhishek, kindly bear with me.
No, that's Sankarshan.
As far as BJP is concerned, yes, we became two. We were a smaller party. In 77, we were part of Janata Party. But from 2 in 84, we became 89 in 89. And then we became to 120 in 91. And thereafter only one. And in 2004, if we lost, we did not lose heart. Yes, you are right, we lost.
Are you giving hope?
The point is the Congress willing to introspect and see within?
It took 15 years.
That is the point for you to consider. And by the way, when you say people are making a wrong choice, that is a supreme example of arrogance I would like to highlight.
Arnav, I wish to ask Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad a question.
Entirely for you to decide.
Can I ask him a question, please?
Ravi Shankar Prasad, Sankarshan Thakur wants to ask you a question. I know your time was till 9:35. I'm extending this by 3-4 minutes. Go ahead. Sankarshan Thakur asking a question to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Channel started.
No, Dr. Singhvi, give me 3 minutes. Dr. Singhvi, let me say something. Wait, no, one second. Dr. Singhvi, do you realize how magical this moment is? When have you ever seen the BJP concerned about? When have you seen the BJP as concerned about the Congress as it is tonight? I have never seen the BJP, everyone's concerned about the Congress.
It's so touching.
Arnav, can I ask my question now?
Your question now.
It's so touching.
Ravi Shankar ji, your leader and the Prime Minister of India has been campaigning in the name of Congress Mukht Bharat. How does your concern for the revival of the Congress square up with that? Just point of interest.
My reply is very simple. When he is talking of Congress Mukht Bharat, he is basically impressing upon good governance. That doesn't mean that Congress should cease to be a party. He is only stating very clearly and categorically that if you want good governance, if you want development, that is not possible under the current Congress dispensation. When today I am saying my views, I am saying as a Democrat, Indian democracy needs also an opposition. And here is a case that a party 129 years old, getting reverses after reverses, yet blaming the people of India as if they are making a wrong choice. Good luck to them again. That is a textbook case of arrogance.
Okay. So Ravi Shankar Prasad, I'm thanking you at this stage. 1 second. First, let me thank Ravi Shankar Prasad and take a solemn promise from him that he will be with us on the 19th of October.
No, Arnav.
Yes.
Arnav, kindly allow me to say one thing. Tomorrow I am going abroad. I am going to South Korea. I will be out in an official function. I am going there.
Sir.
Therefore, my good wishes will be there.
Sir.
And I only hope what I have said today, you will remember on the 19th.
Sir, it's not North Korea, and we'll find a way to connect with you even there in Seoul. Thank you very much, Ravi Shankar Prasad.
South Korea.
All right. I said it's not North Korea. Thank you very much. And there are the updated numbers that Ravi Shankar Prasad smiling away today. It seems to be an interesting result, and Jayam Rug will take us through, and Navika will take us through the updated numbers that we have of C-Voter. The debate is continuing in a minute. Jay.
The poll of polls gives the BJP 50 on 19 in Haryana. Actually, it's well past the halfway mark. It's very interesting. Earlier in the day, when we started with the 3 p.m. numbers, C-Voters was at 37. Right now, all the 3 polls are above the halfway mark. So 45, for 54 and 52. All the 3 of them are above the halfway mark. Sort of a certainty in terms of the polls that the BJP could get a simple majority in Haryana.
Certainty in terms of polls?
Of the polls. Yeah.
BJP is moving towards a simple majority
because
in Haryana.
none of them are below the halfway mark now.
And in terms of Maharashtra?
In terms of
what does the poll of polls tell us?
Chanakya, which has given 151 to the BJP-led alliance. C-Voter is yet below, at 129. So the final figure, the poll of polls for Maharashtra is 135 to 136 for the BJP-led alliance and about 61 to 71 for the Sena.
Got it.
It's very interesting. Maharashtra, also the poll of polls tends to throw the Congress at the 3rd position. If you just look at the Congress poll of polls number there, it's 33. And the NCP are tagged behind at 29. The poll of polls, again, with the updated numbers from ABP AC Nielsen, which has updated the numbers recently.
These are the updated numbers. These are the updated numbers.
Right. Has put the number for the BJP at 144, which is the exact halfway mark in the Maharashtra Assembly. So it's very interesting. After all the polling is
risk
done,
factor? What's the biggest risk factor?
The biggest risk factor here is the multipolar contest. And as like in Jharkhand, the JMM and the BJP, the vote share may be very little apart, but the seat share could be widely apart. So I think that is still a risk factor in Maharashtra.
Point taken. Okay, Sanjay Jha with us. Siddharth Nath Singh of the BJP is with us. Shweta Parulekar of the Shiv Sena is with us. And of course, our full panel is with us from Delhi and in Mumbai. Shweta Parulekar, the Shiv Sena did the gamble, has not paid off. Would it have been better to actually compromise with the BJP in your view?
Actually, this I think is not the right time to discuss what could have happened.
The polls have come out, everyone's accepted it. Even the Congress has more or less accepted it.
The thing is that there have been so many discussions on this front, and who said what and who did not say what and who quit the alliance. That is the key question.
No, so who quit the alliance? The Sena quit the alliance, right?
No, I don't want to go into the details. Sena was very clear on its stand right from the beginning that they wanted Narendra Modi ji's leadership at the center.
No, you went up on the performance in the last elections, but the mood had changed. There was an election victory into 2014. I mean, the equations had changed and you maybe didn't move with the reality.
I don't think so, because if you follow the entire discussions which were going on, definitely you will realize that there was logic, because BJP has grown.
But the logic failed now.
No, the BJP has grown in Maharashtra because of Shiv Sena in the past 15-20 years.
Yeah.
So I think all that really mattered when we were saying what we were saying.
Yeah. Okay. Sanjay Jha, is it time for a change of the Congress party senior top leadership? I mean, the leadership which does not deliver again and again and again, and not just not deliver, just ensures nothing but a rout for the party. You can't, after this, blame Prithviraj Chavan or Manikarav Thakare, can you? I mean, you're going to have to take responsibility.
Arnab, if you look at the indicators of both economic and human development indicators,
no, I'm discussing the result. No, I'm discussing a result. No, I'm not discussing
Maharashtra has done well.
No, I'm not discussing economic indicators. I'm saying if despite the economic indicators, your leadership is not considered worthy of anyone's vote. I mean, that's a huge crisis for any party. How can you be blind to that?
Well, I want to give you one example, Arnab. How do you explain that? You had Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad a few minutes ago, and I heard him say that it's a governance model that is working. And you and I both know that 53% of the candidates fielded by the Bharatiya Janata Party have got serious criminal
but they're winning and you're losing. Simple point. Then why are they winning and you're losing? What is the problem with your party leadership? What, in your view, Sanjay Jha, is the fundamental problem with your party leadership, namely Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi?
Yeah, let me answer that. I'm not going to trash any of the opinion poll or the exit poll for the simple reason that assuming that they hold true, assuming that whatever you have forecasted comes right, I think as a party, both in Haryana and Maharashtra, I think we'll be extremely disappointed with the results because, it's not anti.
No, our leadership's responsible. I'm sure you're disappointed. But I'm not sure you're disappointed. But the fact is our leadership's responsible or not responsible? No, or will you have Mr. Antony once again and you'll have a secret report of Mr. Antony, the Antony report part 3, secret report. Everybody is at fault, including the media, but not Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi. Let's be very clear tonight.
Arnab, you and I both live in Mumbai and we have seen the Congress campaign in Maharashtra. Mr. Prithviraj Chavan has been the visible face. He's been the projected face.
Blame Prithviraj Chavan.
He has been the singular person driving the Congress campaign. And I think he's done an excellent job. He's done an excellent job.
There you are.
I'm just going to say it's a multi-cornered contest and you are going to see a verdict finally.
Responses. Sankarshan Thakur. Responses. Prithviraj Chavan is responsible if we do badly.
Mr. Jha, we have seen this so many times. Your party gets decimated, defeat after defeat.
There's a flip side.
Pull up some
he gets
placard.
All the credit for doing
you
well.
will pull up some placard and say, this is the one to blame. And behind that placard is a man who's refusing to come to the table. Wherever he goes, the party loses. There has to be serious cleanup in the Congress. There has to be a housekeeping job done with the gloves off.
And Arnab,
is that going to happen?
What Sanjay Jha needs to answer is also the fact that Prithviraj Chavan in an interview has very clearly said that he did not have the right to either remove the Deputy Chief Minister, he did not have the right to send his own leaders like Sushil Kumar Shinde, Ashok Chavan to jail because that would have meant collapse of the party. So you're not giving any free hand to Prithviraj Chavan, but when it comes to a law,
this is very unfair.
The only man responsible.
No, this is very unfair. This is very unfair. No, one second. This is very unfair. No, very unfair. Did Rahul Gandhi tell Prithviraj Chavan, 1 second, go after all those people who've been named in the Adarsh Committee report? Did Rahul Gandhi tell Prithviraj Chavan that the Chitale Committee report has actually named those people, Ajit Pawar and all, go after Ajit Pawar? Did Rahul Gandhi, did Rahul Gandhi tell Mr. Bhupinder Singh Hooda that I don't care if he's my brother-in-law, but go after Robert Vadra? So that the argument which is put by Sabha Naqvi of crony capitalism is not an argument which can be used against the Congress party. Did Rahul Gandhi do that? No, did Rahul Gandhi do that? Did Rahul Gandhi work against crony capitalism?
The country has
this is incredible. You hold back your state leaders.
Why should Mr. Rahul
You hold back your state leaders. And then, for God's sake, at least Prithviraj Chavan has worked hard. Prithviraj Chavan and Manikrao Thakre, between them, have done 110 to 120 rallies. Rahul Gandhi has done 6. Siddharth Singh.
That's right.
Arnab, Congress has a habit of misreading the mandate in each and every elections. Allow me to speak, please. Allow me to speak. Sanjay, please allow me to speak. I think Congress has a habit of misreading the mandate whenever it has come in any elections, be it Lok Sabha 2014, be it by-elections. The by-elections, the message was very clear. We lost by-election. The message was very clear to all of us that wherever Modi ji doesn't go, we tend to lose. But wherever Rahul doesn't go, the Congress tends to win. Now here again, you should have kept Rahul out, totally out. And then you would have seen that Congress would have done better, Sanjay Jha. And also, don't get into Antony 3 and Antony 4 report. Do the real inspection. What is happening to your Congress party?
And we know what happened to the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2004 and 2009. So please stop misrepresenting facts. In politics, you win some, you lose some. You should know that. I remember you were with me on a program on Times Now, and you were trying to say that the defeated BIPOS has got nothing to do with Mr. Modi.
Unfortunately,
but I can tell you that there could be straws in the wind. Wait for the 19th of October.
The voters doesn't stand, and that is what is happening.
You were not the party. You were not the party which defeated the Congress. It was the Samajwadi which defeated the BJP, it was the Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Please be very clear.
Well, Rajasthan I was
you
referring.
have been decimated in what was former
I'm
Andhra
talking
Pradesh.
about the
You are
2004 and 2009 general
No, let me
elections.
finish,
That's history.
I think
That's
somewhere it's you. I
history.
can't
It's
see who it is.
2014, Sanjay
In
Jha.
2004 and
history.
2009,
Sanjay,
Mr. Rahul Gandhi
Sanjay,
campaigned for the
you are
Congress
not in-
all over
you
the
are-
country.
you are getting
How can you
wiped
ignore
out
that
by
reality?
2014, the Lok Sabha elections happened, you lost so badly, there was time to resurrect your own party, to show some leadership and look at these elections as at least as a fighting chance that the Congress party had. What has your leadership done? Your leadership is absent from the scene. There are leaders who are completely in their doldrums. Nobody is looking at the party or taking it forward. There is no single thread that holds the party together. Yet you are saying that the leadership crisis does not exist in your party?
Watch. Three facts for Sanjay Jha. If the Congress party, if the Congress
Both
party
Mr.
is
Huda
determined,
and Mr.
keep on repeating the same
Chavan
thing.
are experienced political leaders who have administered the states very well. No, the Congress President, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, Mr. Rahul Gandhi and other senior leaders have campaigned in Haryana and in Maharashtra. Now, if the results hold Arnab, I will confess that we will be very, very disappointed. But we are confident that in a multi-cornered contest, the vote shares and the seat shares are not necessarily going to be commensurate.
You know,
so let's
Mr.
wait
Jha,
and
Huda's lost Huda's alone, or is there a butler factor in the Huda loss? That's the question.
Sanjay, can I just ask one question? When you lost the 1 second, when you
a
lost.
question from Mumbai.
Exit
One
polls
question from here.
certainly
One
doesn't
second,
show
one second.
that there is a four-cornered contest.
No, Sanjay,
Mr.
when you
Jha,
lost the Lok
had
Sabha,
the
you blamed
BJP done
Manmohan
badly,
Singh.
you would have blamed
When you
Sanjay.
lose
I ask
Maharashtra, you blame Prithviraj Chauhan. The only introspection that the Congress does with the loss is who do we blame? You sit down, other than Rahul Gandhi, who do we blame? And all the names are put into a hat, pull out one and say blame that guy, but we can't blame Rahul Gandhi. When BJP lost, Advani and Vajpayee were blamed for the loss. Then what, you were scared of that? Why don't you blame Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi finally?
Unblameable.
You all are going to carry on looking for excuses. You're right, 2004, when BJP lost, they blamed Vajpayee and Advani for it.
I'm
Come on,
sorry,
yaar,
I
wake
don't know
up.
what
Just
BJP
wake up.
does. Sankarshan, I don't know
Sanjay-
what BJP does. We have a culture
had
in
the
our
BJP
party
performed
where we
badly,
don't start,
you
the
would say
moment
that
we
Modi
lose
is
an election,
responsible.
we don't go on a witch hunt. It is always a collective
That was
responsibility.
Sunil Alagh, that was not me.
Arnab,
That's okay. There's a witch hunt on who to blame in Congress.
No,
You're
one
right.
minute, 1 minute.
Other than Rahul
I
Gandhi.
want to make 3 points to Sanjay Jha. Okay, Sanjay, I feel you are taking this personally. I feel you are thinking that everybody is targeting my leader, Rahul Gandhi. It's not true. I want to make 3 observations
but
about
that
your
is
leader.
a constant obsession of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I
I'm sure.
understand
Sanjay, please remember. Please one second. Rahul Gandhi has done things. After all, Rahul Gandhi did say Narendra Modi is leader of the opposition. That he did say something and then he went back on it. The fact is, Rahul Gandhi failed to take up the leader of the opposition post after the Lok Sabha polls. He didn't want to be. Then he failed up to take up the campaign during the by-polls. Right? Then his participation in these elections has been half-hearted to say,
we don't
say the least.
campaign in the by-polls.
Half-hearted to say the least. If he is a transparent leader, then I think the Antony Committee report should be made public and put on a website today. I think the Antony Committee report should be made public and put on a website today so that at least we can know what the Congress introspection after successive defeats is. Hartosh and Sankarshan want to come into the debate and Sanjay, don't run away from it. These are realities you will have to face. Sankarshan, Hartosh.
No, I'm not.
Arnab, Sanjay Jha just said. Sanjay Jha just said.
of October as well. Don't worry.
1 minute. 2 questions to Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, Mr. Jha, you just said we don't campaign in by-elections. Now, a party that has been slammed to its historic low, do you not think the leadership should have rallied and said, we are going to fight every by-election and we are going to lead the party there? 2, has the Congress party yet come to a conclusion about why it lost the May 14 elections? It seems from whatever Congress party spokespersons say on television or in the media that they have not. They clearly have not.
Arnab, if I may add to that.
Sankarshan,
if I may just add a question while Sanjay.
And Hartosh and Sankarshan are not enemies of the Congress party.
organization.
Hartosh and Sanjay Sen are not enemies of the Congress party.
Shrinking very fast.
They are journalists.
Mr. Gandhi and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi to campaign in every election.
But where is...
I mean, that defies democratic decentralization. I mean, I completely disagree with you.
I want to know one thing. Just one point, Hartosh. Look how unfair this is. There's a man called Tarun Gogoi. When Tarun Gogoi wins the election in Assam, then Rahul Gandhi takes the credit. When Prithviraj Chavan loses or will lose the election in Maharashtra, Rahul Gandhi runs away from the blame.
Arnab, Mr. Gandhi
what an unfair world. I know things are not never fair in life, but this is just too much. 1 second, Hartosh.
Arnab, this is exactly the point. I would ask Sanjay Jha, is there any conceivable situation he can sketch out under which Rahul Gandhi would be held accountable for a Congress defeat?
No way.
Any situation.
Okay, let me answer your question, Hartosh. Yeah, I'm answering your question if you decide to listen to me for a few minutes. You will remember that in the 2009 Lok Sabha, we did very well in Uttar Pradesh, winning 22 seats. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi was credited by the Congress party for an extraordinary performance. Did you see Mr. Rahul Gandhi take credit for it? Not at all. In fact, I'm just giving you an answer.
We're talking about the losses and the accountability, not the wins and the credit.
You just credited for the Haryana, Karnataka
our leaders are not like the I, myself leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, if in Haryana Huda loses on the 19th, will it be a Huda loss or will it be a Vadra loss as well?
All right.
Now, listen, I'm not going to respond to
why not?
No,
why not?
Why not? It's a very simple, straight question.
Is Robert Vadra's
Let me tell you,
not an issue?
You are dragging the name of a private citizen, which has got nothing
belonging
to do.
To the
one minute. Where despite
let me tell you, he gets a full security.
I think this is another attempt. This is another attempt to drag
no frisking at the airport. He gets the full security.
The High Court and the Supreme Court we have responded on the matter.
Oh, come on. The Supreme Court and High Court was on the basis of the prayer and the way that it was kept. So that's a separate issue. Don't tell us about that. I think
so
again, Sanjay, you are reading the 2009 UP elections.
No, let me
again
ask
incorrectly.
You,
why I'm saying is because it was to do with Samajwadi Party and joining hands with Kalyan Singh. That made the Muslim vote shift towards the Congress, and that is the reason you won in what I can say is in UP. So you must understand those things, and rather than saying, oh, Rahul Gandhi was the man, a champion and ambassador in UP in 2009. So don't misread again. It was more of a doing of Samajwadi Party.
No, I
of
take
joining
you
hands
back.
with Kalyan Singh and the Muslims.
No, what's Sanjay Jha, just a minute. No, Mr. Jha, just the last person to idolize in Indian politics is Om Prakash Chautala. Just a small observation. It's a serious observation actually, Sabha. But this man Om Prakash Chautala, when he comes out, which he shouldn't have and gone campaigning, breaking the rules, right? He goes to 67 villages in 2 days. Rahul Gandhi in all does some 4 rallies. Is he interested in politics is a question. It's a legit question for the people. It's a very legit question for the people to ask. Is he interested in politics? And if he is not, does the party go down with it?
Sanjay Jha, I think you have completely got it wrong. Mr. Gandhi has campaigned in several state assemblies over the last 10 years. Can you tell me how many states has he gone in and addressed 10 rallies, or like Mr. Modi done 27 rallies, forgetting for a moment that he's the Prime Minister? Mr. Gandhi usually campaigns around 6 to 8 times.
Sanjay, the time has come. The voters want a leader. They want somebody to lead.
This is a part of a larger political strategy.
And his leadership is.
Siddharth, why are you worried? You should be very happy. I'll take a break. Siddharth and Sanjay Jha, don't go away. This debate continues.
Pakistan is at our borders. China
this debate will continue on the other side of the break. Sanjay Jha and Siddharth Singh continue to debate. Why the BJP is so concerned about Rahul Gandhi is a mystery I can't fathom tonight. Back in a couple of minutes. Our panel now joining the panel. Nupur Sharma is member of the National Executive of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha, and she's one of the young faces of the BJP. Jaiveer Shergill is media panelist of the Congress Party. Clyde Crasto is NCP spokesperson. I will get him on the screen in a minute. Kamal Farooqi is joining us. Siddharth Nath Singh continues. Let's begin. Whereas, you know, one way of looking at it, Javeer, is that you have people in their 30s and 40s now who are taking #1 positions in the BJP. You have, for example, Pankaja Munde. She openly says, yes, I am in the running for Chief Minister, almost says that. You have Devendra Fadnavis. I think he's 44-year-old. He could very well be the Chief Minister.
At 27, he was the mayor of Nagpur.
At 27, mayor of Nagpur. 44, Chief Minister of Maharashtra potentially. Like, then you have Captain Abhimanyu. How old is he?
45.
Again, 45 years old, could be the next Chief Minister of Haryana. Right? And in your party, the only young leader of any consequence seems to be Rahul Gandhi. That's 44-year-old. But besides him, you have no substantial second line of leadership. You are not projecting any satraps at the state level. Your party refuses to change its tack. And you are going from loss to loss, stumbling from loss to loss, almost as if inviting defeat upon yourself. Mr. Shergill, what is your party going to do with a more resurgent and a younger BJP leadership that is being built under Modi and Amit Shah? What are you going to do? Are you going to watch and get thrashed again and again?
No, two points I want to make. Number one, it's ironical you give me BJP's example as far as young leadership is concerned. To the contrary, if you see Congress's line of leadership, whether it's Sachin Pilot at a young age being heading the PCC, Jyotiraditya Scindia, the youngest member of parliament came from Congress, the young MP from Lakshadweep during the last elections. So we have a very strong lineup. But this election, Haryana and Maharashtra have to the contrary proved that this was not election for Mr. Modi. It was rather an attempt to hijack his own party in both the states and diminish the leadership or the identity of the state leaders within the party.
How does that bother you? How does that bother you?
I am not saying.
How does that bother you?
I am just countering your point.
I am just countering your point. One second. So your point is that Modi is trying to hijack his own party. So let's get. I got your point. Let's get quick responses. Modi is trying to hijack his own party, and Nupur Sharma is in splits.
So beyond.
Obviously, Arnab, I don't know what is wrong with him. They don't even have any leadership. The point is, what you started with is correct. There is a second generation of leadership which is being effectively being worked upon in the party ranks, and you can see it by the way of examples. Very few examples you took, but there are so many more. Not only men, they are the youngest women parliamentarians. 26, 27-year-old women are parliamentarians from the BJP in the Lok Sabha today. So I don't know what Javeer is looking at, and the point is that the people that he's naming. The people he is naming, they're no longer in the parliament. So maybe barring Rahul Gandhi, maybe Jyotiraditya Scindia.
I want to make a quick response. Did the entire campaign of the BJP, I understand, Nupur, I understand whatever
Javeer, if it's you, please allow me to complete. Please allow me to complete. I heard you go on. I fail to understand why do we do this? Modi is authoritarian. Modi is a separate entity. Mr. Modi is from the BJP. He rose from the ranks. He is one of us. And the fact is, he doesn't have any family behind him. So I think we all should appreciate that and really appreciate, and you should appreciate that development is the plank which has really worked in the Lok Sabha elections and now in the state elections.
No, the serious point is this, that what, Javeer, you see, understand what happened. If people are repeat non-performers or habitual non-performers, then there has to be action, right? Because if you are given a choice of perform or perish, you must perform and not perish. And those who perish in result after result must be punished. Now, in your case, Javeer, those who perish electorally in result after result are rewarded. You get the irony here. And there is no change. As far as generational shift is concerned, BJP moved out LK Advani, BJP moved out Murli Manohar Joshi. They are part of the Margdarshak committee. So there is a generational shift. Do you realize the dangers of being status quoist in today's day and age?
Let me say.
No, do you realize the dangers?
What I want to say.
Or is the only... do you realize the dangers?
I just want to get in. Just one more point.
No, the picture...
Do you realize the danger?
One second, Nupur, let me...
The one more point. High Command submits resignation to the High Command, which the High Command rejects. That's the biggest joke.
I know Nupur...
You screaming in my ear is not going to help.
I know, Nupur, I know your anxiety to speak because this is one of
anxiety. We are winning. We are happy, not anxious. You should be the one who should be anxious.
Whatever Mr. Modi does or whatever his bluff is, you have to uncomplainingly swallow by hook, line, and sinker. Number two, please, on this channel, you tell me which of your leaders shared any remotely space in this during the entire campaign. None.
No.
You had to.
No, that is not true.
Javier, during your New York
only if you're informed do you argue on this point.
Unrelated
Javier, 1 minute.
Was telecasted in
a small young Karakatta like me went into Haryana. Please, what are you saying, Javier? Please, hang on a minute. You're not reading the newspapers enough. Are you trying to tell me that our campaign was only the rallies by the Prime Minister? He's the most important person. Thank God that he came down because it actually drove off the point.
Insecurity and paranoia.
Insecurity, you are losing.
Swept away with the wave of insecurity and paranoia after the recent bipolar.
Who should be insecure, Javier?
He is paranoid.
You can't even claim the post of opposition in Lok Sabha. You are defeated time and again in the elections.
The question goes to our panelists. Sometimes paranoia is good.
Get a grip.
No, 1 second. There are occasions. No, 1 second. 1 minute, please. Shergill, Mr. Shergill.
Why did he leave our borders at risk?
Mr. Shergill, you see, I'll tell you one thing. No, Mr. Shergill. Mr. Shergill, just give me a minute. Give me a minute. No, and let's get Navika, let's get Hartosh, Sankarshan, Sabha, everyone into the debate. And my point is, if you're going to lose like this, again and again and again, I mean, even Kumar Ketkar, you're very supportive of the Congress party, but is it not time for someone in the Congress to start getting paranoid? You know, they should be paranoid. What is happening to us?
I think that paranoia has spoken, I think.
No, but acceptance of defeat.
In fact,
acceptance of defeat is a worrisome trend.
In fact, their paranoia has spoken. That's why they did not conduct rallies. They did not build a party. They did not organize.
No, that's a sense of self-defeat. No, that's an acceptance of. No.
I'm talking of elections.
No.
They did not even conduct the campaign after.
You're saying they gave up. They gave up.
After 16th May, they are clearly giving up.
They gave up. They gave up.
No, it's a denial.
That's what I'm saying. I have been saying that.
No, so they only.
And you call me Congress supporter, but
I'm not saying Congress support. I'm saying very often you have supported the Congress.
I have been saying this on your channel so many times that Congress has given up the fight. Congress has lost the contact with people.
Congress has given up the fight.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, that
Congress has given up the fight, or Gandhis have given up the fight.
Reiteration. Congress has given up.
Congress has given up. Nirja Chaudhary.
Also Sonia and Rahul.
Sonia and Rahul have given up the fight.
Yeah.
And what is Mr. Chavan, fall guy?
I didn't hear him saying that actually.
No, yeah. No, watch, I'm coming to you in Delhi. I know, we'll get into this debate. No, watch, Mr. Shergill, listen, please. You know, the Gandhis are not beyond criticism, please. Accept, please. 1 second, yeah.
I think there's huge, the word you use is paranoia. There is paranoia also within the Congress party.
You think
if you talk to people privately, they're worried, it's their future at stake. They don't know which way to go. Yeah. As we said, Sonia Gandhi's energy is not what it used to be. Rahul is not, come up to scratch. Priyanka is not going to come into politics as of now. Where does the party go? Who the leadership is going to be? But they're not able to get together and call a spade a spade. What's the way forward? You had the CWC after the defeat, and what did it add up to? It only tried to dissuade Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi from not going ahead with their resignation. That's all it amounted to. So somehow...
But don't you think the survival instincts of the other Congress leaders is now going to be at a high?
Well, they should be. They should be. Otherwise, the party, as you say, is... What is the future?
It's a widespread phenomenon.
One point in 1967...
No, one minute. I'm coming to Delhi in a minute here.
Bipolar election result...
No, 1 second, Mr. Shergill. 1 second, Mr. Shergill. Mr. Shergill, 1 minute.
Only small
listen to this.
In 1967, when Mrs. Indira Gandhi lost as many as 10 states, UP, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, she decided to change the structure of the party. That's how the party was split. I am not saying party should be split or not should be split. I am entirely agreeing with Arnab when he said that wouldn't there be a revolt in the party against the paranoia, against the conflicts. There has to be some kind of rebellion.
Before
you think there will be?
It's building up.
No, 1 second. 1 second. Before we go to Delhi, one last point.
The rebellion was there in 67.
One last point before we go to Delhi. Everybody is talking about the fact that consumer is king and therefore the voter is king. Why are you not looking at the way the voter is going and stop thinking about what you think, whether Modi is great, Rahul is not, this is not. What is the voter telling you? Whether there's paranoia or not is irrelevant. You are losing. Finished. Are you worried about the people who vote for you, or are you worried about your own leaders? That's the question you have to ask
question
yourself.
is, in a world where Pankaja Munde, Devendra Fadnavis, Captain Abhimanyu become the next generation leaders of the BJP, is anyone, that I throw to our studios in Delhi, is anyone telling 10 Janpath?
Mr. Sachin Pilot, Jyotiraditya Scindia.
What great successes do they have?
Now let me to the young Congress spokesperson.
We have given up the fight. The recent bypoll election results have shown up. Our fight is in full force.
Captain.
Please listen. As someone, you're talking. Please don't talk nonsense.
Why are you not doing Delhi elections?
Nothing to do with it.
There's no hunger in the Congress party. There's absolutely no hunger to prove themselves. There is absolutely no reason why the Congress parties are looking at, why the Congress leaders like Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are looking like at this entire issue as a challenge. For them, their life begins from their own cocoons and ends there, because they're not looking at the parties. And what Neerja says is very correct. You meet leaders of the Congress party on any given day, and they are talking about the crisis their party is in. Sonia Gandhi is not getting younger, Rahul Gandhi is not getting up to the mark, and they're losing election after election. What's going to be the future of all of these young
A minute.
Please allow me to come in.
A minute, please.
I'm sorry.
Arnab, I heard Jaiveer say that there is centralization of power in one person. Please ask Jaiveer what does he mean by that, when he belongs to a party where the central leadership is increasingly failing. Again, the reposition of faith is in the same leadership. It's a vicious circle. Jaiveer, allow me to complete. And if I may, somebody spoke about the structure. What will the structure of the party do when there is no leadership and there is no vision trickling down to the structure?
Arnab, the crisis is so great in the Congress. Today I spoke to a very young, significant part of the Young Turks. I mean, they're talking about literally having to migrate to where their constituencies are. I'm not going to give names over here. It's very, no one has any faith left in Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, so my question to Kamal Farooqui. Watch out. Politics is never stagnant. Watch out, Mr. Shergill, Kamal Farooqui and Clyde Castro. Clyde Castro and Kamal Farooqui.
Classify that as a...
Clyde Castro and Kamal Farooqui are also on the debate. You see, politics is never going to be endlessly static. If there is one pole, there will have to be another pole. Right? If there is Mr. Modi, somebody at some time, somebody will want to pose a challenge. Now tell me, Clyde, let me come to you first and then I'll go to Kamal Farooqui on this. Is everybody going to repose their faith on Rahul Gandhi as the challenger to Modi? Not just Congress to BJP, but at a national level? Or will this series of defeats force parties even like the NCP to think otherwise?
Well, when it comes to Rahul Gandhi, I think the Congress spokesperson can speak much more for him. But I also want to say, there's so many people talking at the same time. It's so difficult to decipher what the person is saying. So I think it's better that just one person talks or maybe two people talk. But it's getting very difficult. And can you repeat your next? The second
my question is simply to you, Clyde. That do you believe that now with with defeat after defeat behind the Congress party, that parties like the NCP will continue to rally with the Congress? Already there's been so much tension between both your parties. Right? What is going to be a long-term political gain?
We're already on our own,
Yeah, no, you are on your own, but at a national level, is the Congress party going to be in its own corner?
Yeah.
At a national level, Clyde, what happens at a national level?
That's for the Congress to answer. See.
But you've detached yourself from the Congress.
That's for the Congress to answer. That's for them to introspect.
No, but you've detached yourself from the Congress.
We are already alone. We are fighting the...
So do you believe...
We are, no? Okay, you can see that. We are already doing...
So do you believe, Clyde, that this result now is against the kind of crony capitalism which the NCP is fond of? The fact that you were putting pressure on Prithviraj Chavan through the Congress party central leadership not to act in the irrigation scam, and have you learnt your lessons on the issue of corruption and crony capitalism? Maybe you took the people of Maharashtra for granted.
See, now these are exit polls.
No, was Prithviraj Chavan lying when he said that?
On the 19th,
when Prithviraj Chavan said that, he was, that if he had taken action against Ajit Pawar or against the NCP, that the government would have fallen. Were you holding the Congress party to ransom? Were you holding Prithviraj Chavan to ransom on a corruption issue?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You say he said something. Then the press also says that he's denied what he says. So I guess he knows best. But we've not pressurized anybody, nor we are into all that.
So what are your lessons right now as you sink to the lowest? I just want to just think. What are the Congress and the NCP going to do? Both these parties sink to their lowest ever performance in Maharashtra. You can't sink lower than this. What are you going to do? Cling on to each other, break away, learn your lessons, or what?
See, these are exit polls. Let's get to the results. Let the results come out, and then we'll think what we have to do. And so we'll retrospect and then go accordingly.
Okay, Kamal Farooqi, throw that question to you at a national level. What do you think is going to happen now? Is the BJP going to remain unchallenged for a very long period of time with these kind of results behind them?
Yeah, Arnab, two quick comments on that. One, that defeat after defeat, Congress has not learned any lesson at all. So this is one thing. Whereas Modi has learned a lesson from the bypolls. In fact, they tried to use the apart from they left around aside the development plank, and they went into the communal plank. And they were totally disseminated in the bypolls, in fact. So Modi corrected the whole thing again, and he went again to the development agenda. So there are two lessons. One for the Congress, that if they do not learn any lesson, they will be totally disseminated. They have to bridge their gap with Sharad Pawar or Mamta or any other friendly party. Whereas for Modi ji, it is very important to understand that the country needs the development plank. They don't want a hatred plank. They don't want a Hindutva plank. They don't want the communal divide. They want everyone in the country wants that the country should develop, and there should be a communal harmony. I am happy that during this, both in Haryana and the Maharashtra, no communal face has found any place over there. But all of them were kept aside.
But maybe you think it's a, you think we've been talking. No, Mr. Farooqi, we spoke about it. You think it's a permanent shift now? You think Modi takes over, a more centrist, perhaps a little bit more open, less inclined towards religious polarization, that kind of BJP comes in? You seem to think so. Does Sabha agree? Does Hartosh agree? Does Navika agree on that? Is that going to be the way for things to come? A new BJP that moves away from the hardline elements of the Sangh Parivar and charts its own path ahead. Sabha.
Arnab, I wish that were true, but I just want to say one thing. The next election, significant state election, will be in Bihar, where there's no Congress. After that, we'll have Uttar Pradesh and Bengal. Again, no Congress really in any significant way. There'll be other people who will be fighting the BJP. I think Mr. Modi and Amit, even during the Lok Sabha campaign, Mr. Modi did selectively raise issues like pink revolution and all in areas like Assam and Bengal. I think on a larger scale, he will not use it, but I am certain that if the occasion, he's been very pragmatic. This is a very pragmatic communalism. When you think it's going to bring you electoral rewards, you've used it. I'm sure Mr. Shah has been told that for now, no. I hope Mr. Modi evolves in that direction. But yes, but just the other day they were using that card, and he never had a word of condemnation for Yogi Adityanath. And
but the miscalculation of the bypolls is something that the BJP has learned a lesson from. And as far as the BJP short run is concerned, the Bihar elections and the Jharkhand elections where they go in next, they're clearly going to avoid any communal polarization, and they're going to stick to the development agenda. And why not? It seems to be paying for them. If you have Modi as the face and development as the agenda, it seems to be working.
New BJP, younger regional satraps, all good. Congress party decimated. Is that really the rosy picture?
No, I'm sorry. If it's a
may I say something?
Congress
I've been listening to this for a long time on this program, and I'm frankly very baffled with this. Will Modi tear himself away from the RSS? This country has put into the Prime Minister's seat a pracharak. Please understand that. He has civilizational differences with how this country has run for 60 years. He has those. Look, it is not just love jihad. It's the way
he took on the RSS. He's taken on the VHP. He's taken on the RSS in Gujarat.
I want to do that.
Come on, please.
Is Mr. Alak going to say here?
Just going to carry on the same point again and again.
No. Mr. Alagh, are you saying that Mr. Modi is going to tear himself away from the organization?
He has whenever they are, he has. Whenever the VHP
For what reason? Are you
in
disowning
Gujarat,
the
he
RSS?
has.
Are you
He
disowning the RSS?
He has
Are you
taken on
disowning
the RSS and the VHP in Gujarat.
Please.
Oh, come on, yeah, he has. Let's stick to the facts.
Okay,
He has.
no,
He has.
No, I think one minute. One minute.
A man who thinks very differently has come,
Please
has
allow
come
me
to
to speak.
power.
Arnab,
I'm not
please allow-
saying this combatively. I'm just saying we need to understand a man who thinks very differently has now come to be India's Prime Minister, and the consequences will follow.
Nupur Sharma
Yes,
rebutting
Arnab,
you.
thank
3 minutes left into this debate.
Arnab, one, RSS gives us ideological support and also back-end support as long as it's an
Grounding of
NGO.
Sangeet Song,
Please
giving
allow me to
him
complete.
security, grounding
Please,
of MLAs,
Javi,
riots
please
in
allow me to complete.
Muzaffarnagar.
Two,
The examples are
you
endless.
don't start, sir. Your own netas were blamed in the Muzaffarnagar riots first. Please stop.
We did not crown them.
Oh,
You
please.
had a special function to
Allow
crown
me
them.
to.
You're giving Z plus security
Can I come
Mr.
back to the
Sangeet
point?
Song.
Two, I think Mr. Modi made it amply clear before he went into Lok Sabha elections that he will run the country according to the Constitution of India.
Yeah.
Please tell me if going on the development plank, I don't know what problem Jay has. Please tell me if going on the development plank is a problem, and please tell me anybody who's satisfied with the way the country has been running for the 7th decade now, into the 7th decade now, and still calling us young. That's why we are not developed. That's a lame excuse. I don't know what Javid is talking about. Javid, either you allow me to speak or you wait for me to finish and then speak, please.
Let him speak, please. You know, you could don't run him over just because you're on a winning streak.
Arnab, there is no question of
Javid,
that.
please.
Okay, she has to answer.
But that's what's happening. Voters are doing it to them.
Number one,
But Javid is clutching at straws, you know, like, I mean, it's not right.
Let him speak.
Force feed RSS ideology through national TV. Number one. Number two, did you not crown your MLAs involved in riots? Number three, did you not set a new example by force feeding yourself on Teachers' Day?
You know what? We can start a blame game by me asking you what have you done about 1984?
Now you see,
And did you not give a gift of love jihad instead of development?
We've
did
asked
you not
about
give
that.
the gift?
We finished with that.
That was not a political plan, by
Javid,
the
you're
way.
living in
Go
the
back
past.
into
We
news.
finished with that already.
Exactly. What are you going to do? If you were so good, why are you not winning?
Please answer me these four things.
Mr. Shergill, that will take a longer time. Ms. Parulekar, we are hearing here that the possibility that the Shiv Sena may still be invited in a sort of a large magnanimous gesture. The BJP may say, come on, be with us. Keep the alliance going. Junior partner. Will you accept that? After all, Anand Gite is still in the cabinet.
See, it is for our party president Uddhavji to decide what will be right at that moment.
Open to it.
We've always been their partners for the
We'll
last.
swallow a lot of pride for that.
It just depends what Uddhavji will decide to do.
Can I also say that Mr. Modi said he never spoke a word against Shiv Sena because of this respect for Babas? No, I mean, he's left the door open. Yeah. Everybody's left the door open. So what's the question?
Okay, the longer term impact, you know, after this Jay and Nirja, I'd like to come to you on this. Longer term impact you're going to think of this in the coming state elections and national elections?
If the BJP succeeds, it's trying to go ahead and replicate this Ekla Chalo plan in Bengal, Odisha. Tamil Nadu, they might try and rope in Rajnikant. The game plan should be ideally for them in 2019 we get another majority on our own, because right now they have peaked in the states from where they've got the seats. So they need to develop an alternate catchment area, and that's what they would develop.
So the whole BJP game has been since May, keep building the momentum through perception building events like Madison Square, through elections, through speeches,
Ravi Shankar Prasad
through campaigns.
made a very important point. He said the art of communication in this new politics is what the Congress is missing, and I think the BJP is.
So you see, but art of communication that Modi has developed is not necessarily the art of communication that will always succeed.
Absolutely.
There is something called a fatigue point. There is something called overkill. I think what he has done the overkill campaign, and that campaign might succeed for a while. But we are talking at least of next 5 years, 4.5 years. Congress has no communication plan, communication strategy. Fine, but the point is, this does not mean that this is the same strategy, continuous sloganeering, and all that will bring them between 2019. I don't think that will work.
Nirja. While I agree with him that BJP will go on the Ekla Chalo path now, having tasted blood. The other side, which is the now it's the BJP versus the rest. That rest will be forced to come together in alliances at the state level, maybe national level. But if the BJP was smart, they would invite the Shiv Sena, even though they don't need them, invite the INLD. So these parties who were allies won't go to the opposition side.
So you build the real super NDA, but a super NDA that is centered around the BJP that does not necessarily need
what Neerja says. You would leave the opposition space to a weak Congress rather than letting a Sena sit in the opposition.
That's very interesting. Well, I thank you. I thank you all very much.
Okay.
Sabha wanted to say something. Sabha, wrapping up. Yes, you wanted to quickly make a point. Yes, Sabha. And,
No, I believe that the changes that we are seeing in this, as the Congress was the single party which ruled for years and years, I think we are entering a phase where this is one step ahead of the BJP becoming exactly that.
Amit Shah becomes very strong as well. That's, one thing which Amit Shah becomes a very, very strong second pole in the BJP almost.
Arnab, there's one thing I want to differ on, please. That I don't think we are in an elongated election mode period. There was a lull also because these state elections are happening 4 months after the central elections.
But Modi's
and I think there's nothing wrong with the Prime Minister.
Oh
my
but
God,
Modi's campaigns have been as if he's in permanently election mode, whether
not
in America or
so, well, when you are getting into election, you have to be in election mode. I mean, you can't just
last word go to Kamal Farooqui.
Self-centered election mode.
I mean, you have to be in election mode when elections are announced.
Even
you can't be
without
stuck on the stage.
mode all the time.
Kamal Farooqui.
Arnab, whatever.
Kamal Farooqui.
Arnab, while wishing Mr. Modi all the best, Arnab, while wishing Mr. Modi all the best, I feel very sorry about Congress. They are still trying to, not on the same plank, in fact. They are still not correcting themselves. There are no correction in Congress. Absolutely. I feel sorry for them, in fact.
But course correction can't be done by somebody else. I thank you all very much for that very, very interesting chat on the News Hour tonight.
Jaiveer is still speaking.